Hey there, mathematicians. How are you? I missed you. There you are. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Today's lesson is all about subtracting. But here's the thing. It is subtracting with regrouping. So let's refresh our memory and let's think about what does it mean to regroup. Let's dive on in. Let's say that we have the number 23, right? 2 10s and 3 1s. So when we're talking about regrouping, what we would do right now, we have two place value groups. We have the group of 10s and we have a group of 1s. So when we're talking about regrouping, what we do is we regroup or we group again, either the 10s or the 1s. We change the group they are in. For example, right here we have 10 1s and or 1 10, and we can regroup them to the 1s place. So right now their group is the 10s, and let's go ahead and regroup. So now we have taken 1 10 and regrouped it into the 1s place. So we have decomposed it and placed it in the 1s. Or we can regroup them one more time, and we can take those same 10s and change them back into the 10s place. Now, I want you to pay attention to the number. Right now, our number is 23. What happens when we regroup one of the 10s? Does the number change? No. Why not? Well, because we still have the same number of 1s altogether. Here we have 10 1s because the value of 110 is 10. And here we have 10 1s plus 3 1s. So in total, we have 13 1s. So 10 and 13 is 23. Now what happens if I take this 10 and regroup it into the 1s place? Does the number change? Nope, it stays the same. So we start with 23 1s and we can regroup them into the 10s place. So we have one group of 10, two groups of 10, and what we cannot do is regroup these 1s into the 10s place. Why? Well, there are not enough blocks to group. We do not have enough units to place into the 10s place because one group of 10 equals 10. And that is what we do when we regroup. The number stays the same, but we can regroup our 1s into the 10s place if there are enough, or we can decompose a 10 to regroup them into the 1s place. But why do we need to know this? Well, you are about to find out, because today we are going to subtract. And when we subtract, we will need to regroup in order to subtract. What? Let's find out. When we're talking about a subtraction equation, we have several parts. So we have a number minus a number equals a number. So each part has a name. So the first number in a subtraction equation is called a minuend. Okay? Then we have the subtraction symbol or the minus symbol. And then we have the second number. So we have a whole and we take away a part. And that part, it's called a subtrahend. And our answer, right? So we have a whole, we take away a part, and we're left with the other part. So the other part is called the difference. So those are the different parts of our subtraction equation. So now let's go ahead and find out what our minuend is going to be. So I have a stack of cards, just randomly choosing a number. All right, so our minuend is going to be 12. That's our whole. And from that minuend, let's see what we're going to subtract. We're going to subtract 6. So our subtrahend is 6. And our job is to find the difference. And I'm going to show you two different ways to subtract 6 from 12. You ready? So the first thing I'm going to use is going to be, the strategy of doubles. Because if 12 is our whole, and 6 is our part, right? I need to know the other part. Well, I know that in a subtraction problem, it starts with a whole, I separate a part, and I'm left with the other part. And I also know that the two parts make the whole, right? So if one of my parts is 6, then my other part, if my whole is 12, then my other part is going to be 6, because 6 plus 6 equals 12, because I know my doubles. I said 2 ways, but I'm going to show you 3 ways. All right? And then, so I use a strategy of doubles. Now, I'm also going to use a number line. So in a number line, an open number line, I'm going to start with the number 12, and I'm going to place it on this side, on the right side. That's where my first point is going to be, because I know that when I subtract in the number line, I'm going to jump backwards, right? So because I'm going to take away. Moving forward is adding, and jumping backwards, right, is subtracting. So this is why I'm going to start on my right side, and I'm going to subtract 6. Well, the first thing I'm going to do, let's see, I'm going to take away 6, so I can do it this way. 12 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm going to place my arrow there to show that I was subtracting, and I'm going to place my second point, and now I can just add my numbers. So I need to jump backwards. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, and 6. I get to 6. So 12 minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minus 6 equals 6. All right, so that's the second way. Now, boys and girls, I'm going to teach you the second grade way, or with regrouping, to subtract 6 from 12. So in order to do that, I'm going to place them vertically and align them on their place value. So on the 12, every digit represents a place value. The 2 is my ones place. The 1 is my tens place. And in my 6, it only represents the smallest place value, which is my ones. So I'm going to align my ones and my tens. So 12 minus 6. So that is what I mean by stacking our numbers vertically. Now, I have 12 minus 6. So first I'm going to subtract from my ones place. When I subtract vertically, I must subtract my ones place first. I have to start from the right and then move left. So from 2, can I take away 6? Well, technically I can, but that's not the strategy we're using. If I have 2, can I take away 6? Well, if I have 2 ones, can I take away 6 ones? No, I cannot. So here's what I'm going to do, boys and girls. I'm going to show you. I'm going to represent the 12 using base 10 blocks. So that means that I have 1 10 and 2 ones minus 6 ones, right? So can I take away 6 ones from 2 ones? I cannot. So here's what I'm going to do, boys and girls. I'm going to regroup. From my tens place, I have 1 10. I'm going to decompose my 10. So I'm going to decompose it here. I'm going to decompose it. So it's kind of like decompose means to break apart. So I'm going to break this one apart, and I'm going to move it over to my ones place. So now I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what I did is I took away my 10, right? I broke it apart, I decomposed it, and I moved it to this side, to my ones place. So now I have my 110 came over here. I decomposed it into 10 ones and plus the 2 ones that I have. So now in total, I have 12 ones, right? 10 and 2. I have 12 ones. Now from these 12 ones, can I take away 6? Let's see. 1, 2, 4, 6. Absolutely. So if I have 12 ones and I take away 6, I'm left with 3 and 3 is 6. So 12 minus 6 is 6. And there you have it, boys and girls. What you have just seen is subtracting with regrouping. So in order to subtract 6 from 12, in order to take away 6 ones from 2 ones, what I had to do is decompose the number 12 and regroup my 110 into the ones place. And then once I had 12 ones, I took away 6. This is just the beginning, an introduction to what you will be doing in 2nd grade. Now it is your turn, boys and girls. So just as I showed you how I decomposed my 110 and turned it into tens, just how I showed you how I had to regroup in order to take 6 away from 12, then I want you to do the same thing. But this time, your number is going to be, let's see what your minuend is going to be. Your minuend is going to be 14. So your problem, your homework is to take 14 and subtract it from, let's see what your number is going to be. 8. So your subtrahend is 14 minus 8 equals. And I want you to subtract it in this way, just how I showed you that I decomposed the 1 and decompose the 10 and place it in the ones place. And then what that gave me, the total was 12. And then I showed it here using base 10 blocks. I showed the number 12, and then I showed how I decomposed, I regrouped my 110, I placed it into the ones group, and then I subtracted 6. Padres, esta fue una introducción para sus hijos, una lección y introducción sobre lo que van a estar haciendo segundo grado. Van a empezar a restar y con la necesidad de tener que reagrupar. Entonces, igualito como lo enseñé aquí, que tuve 12 y tuve que restar 6, pero para hacer esto, tuve que reagrupar mi decena y la tuve que descomponer, una decena la tuve que descomponer en 10 unidades, y ya que la descompuse para formar 10 unidades y ponerla en el grupo de las unidades, ahora sí me dio 10 unidades, 12 unidades, y de esas 12 unidades ahora sí pude restar 6. En la misma estrategia que usé aquí para restar, quiero ver su trabajo en restar 14 menos 8. Dibújenme la representación de base 10, como se ve el número 14, regrupen la decena y luego, ya que tengan la suficiente cantidad de unidades, luego van a poder restar 8. Porque actualmente, si tienes 4 unidades, no es posible poder restar 8. Para poder restar 8 vas a tener que descomponer esta decena, reagruparla a las unidades y luego con tu nuevo total de unidades, ahora sí vas a poder restar 8.